What's up, guys? I'm JJ,
I'm Javier.
and this is PM Football. We did a way too early award prediction video right before the season started, and we're going to take a look back at what our predictions were, and we're going to maybe make some changes, and we're going to do our mid-season prediction video. Hard word, big word.
SAT word.
Prediction.
Yeah.
Spell prediction.
Don't ask me.
P-R-E diction.
Perfect.
There we go.
That's perfect. Yeah, we are officially over halfway done with the NFL season. It kind of breaks my heart to say that. But yeah, we feel like this will be a good opportunity to look at where our answers were before there were any games and where our answers are now that we are past the halfway mark of the NFL season.
Yeah. With that being said, we're going to get right into it. We're starting things off with MVP.
Yeah.
Before the season started, you have to think. Before the season started, a lot of things were
Great
different.
Great
a
start.
lot of things were different.
Yes.
The Commanders weren't the Commanders.
Please don't.
But I don't want to make you mad. But let me just go out there and say my original MVP prediction at the beginning of the season was Joe Burrow.
And look, I'll come to your defense here. Before he got hurt, he was playing well.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's a bad answer because of how he's playing. It's just that he got hurt.
It was the unfortunate event.
So I don't even think that's a bad answer.
Yeah. I had Joe Burrow. Yours was?
I had Lamar Jackson. Again, another injury that came into play.
Two guys that we really just got caught with the injury bug. Joe Burrow more so than Lamar.
Yeah, for sure.
Lamar's coming back. I'm not saying he can't win MVP.
I think it might be a little too late. It's an uphill battle.
He missed 5 games, I think, already at this point.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think both of us are going to be changing our answers.
Yes.
My MVP for this season is Josh Allen. I'm taking Josh Allen to win MVP because similarly to how he won it last year, he has to be Superman every single week for that team to win games. You've sat here and said we have one of the worst defenses in the NFL.
Yes.
We have no weapons on offense
outside of running
back, of James Cook. Yet we're still 6-2, and I know you're gonna say we've played a cupcake schedule, and maybe that's true. I'm not even saying that's not true. We have had an easier schedule, but last week we played the Chiefs, and we beat the Chiefs. And I think if we can keep this pace going, I'm not saying I'm kind of disappointed we didn't make a move at the deadline, not brought in another weapon, which I think was a big mistake, but. Don't worry, Brandon Beane's got it all figured out. We're going to bring back Gabe Davis, and we're going to be just fine. So, yeah, the Josh Allen, I think right now, he may not have the best stats or the numbers, but when it comes down to it, and we kind of talked about this before the video started, the NFL doesn't have a clear picture on how that they do their MVP voting. Some year it's based solely off of the stats of the player. Some years it's the guy is the most valuable player in the league. Last year, Josh Allen, I think, was the most valuable player to any team to the league. That's why he won it. Previous years, I think Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, they've won MVPs because they've had the best stats out of anybody in the league. And I'm not saying that they didn't deserve those MVPs. I just don't know what kind of year it is for the MVP and the voters to kind of decide who MVP is. Because I know before you say your answer, it's been difficult for both of us to decide who is in the MVP right now. Maybe Jonathan Taylor has a chance to be the MVP. Do I think they give it to a running back, though? No. That is why I'm not taking Jonathan Taylor. This is more so based off of what we think is going to happen, not what we would do.
There's several things you said there that I completely agree with. One, it's the inconsistent of not knowing exactly what the voters will just what factors into choosing your MVP. Like, it does change every year. Another thing I agree with is that there's not exactly a particular player that we feel like is the runaway MVP right now. The final thing I agree with you is that I'm be honest, like if it were solely up to me and not including the factors of it's mainly like a QB award, Jonathan Taylor probably would be my MVP. Most likely. But the odds of the award going to a quarterback kind of made me push the brakes on that. With that being said, right now my MVP is Patrick Mahomes. I think as of now, he has been the best and most consistent quarterback in the league, but I'm not even saying that fully confidently. I think you can consider Daniel Jones. I think you can consider Drake May. Again, like if it wasn't mainly QB award, definitely Jonathan Taylor. This was not an easy decision for me, but right now, to me, the best and most consistent quarterback in the league has been Patrick Mahomes.
Yet he lost to us and had his worst performance ever.
That's fine if we're gonna base MVP on which quarterback lost to who. Would Michael Penix be MVP for beating your MVP?
No.
So that's what I'm saying. That's not a real argument to me. If we're basing it off of but this guy beat that guy.
But do the Chiefs not have a 5-4 record right now?
They do. I'm also saying Patrick Mahomes, assuming, and I know you shouldn't assume, but with it being Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and the Chiefs overall, I can't help but just assume they're gonna get it fixed and it's gonna be solved.
That's cool to assume that.
Yeah.
But then why is it not Josh? Because we are, with as bad of a defense as we've had and as bad of weapons as we've had, still 6-2.
But like you said, you've had a cupcake schedule.
It's been an easy schedule.
I think if the Chiefs had your guys' schedule, they could be 6-2 as well.
They've lost to the Jaguars.
Yeah,
who are not a great team.
Oh, that's not what you were saying before this.
They almost lost to the Raiders.
That's not what you were saying. Okay,
they almost lost to the Raiders.
But did they lose?
No. They almost lost to the Raiders.
But did they lose?
Did they look good last week against the Raiders?
Did they lose? Okay, did you guys look good in your losses?
No.
No, teams don't look good for 17 games.
But Josh never had the performance that Mahomes had last week.
He had a pretty bad performance against the Falcons.
It wasn't that bad.
It was at least Mahomes lost to a good Bills team.
But
you lost to a bad
defense
Falcons team. You lost.
Do the Falcons have a better defense than us?
Yes, but you guys are overall a better team than you would think that you guys would be a better overall team than the Falcons.
Do the Chiefs have a better offense than us?
I would probably say so, yeah.
Do the Chiefs beat the Falcons?
Look, it was a bad game. I'm agreeing with you there. I don't know why we're basing the MVP solely off of one game.
We're only halfway through the year. There's nothing else to really base it off of.
We could base it more than just one game.
Mainly,
we could base it off of more than just one game.
But sure. But for what we are talking about specifically, our two picks for MVP have played a game against each other.
Yeah.
And the guy that I'm picking won the game and has a better record.
You have one extra win than him, but he has
two less losses.
Way more yards than Josh Allen, and he also has
I'm glad you brought that up.
Go ahead and say whatever argument you want.
Josh Allen didn't play an entire fourth quarter against the Panthers.
Sure.
We've also blown out the bad teams that you're talking about that we've played. Didn't play the fourth quarter of the Jets game. So that's 2 full quarters already he didn't play in. The Chiefs have played in really close games throughout the entire season. Have they played better teams? Yes. But because he has played better teams and they have been in close games and games that they have lost, they've had to throw the ball more. Therefore, he has had more opportunities to get more yards, get more touchdowns. The Bills have just been in control of these games.
Thank you for bringing that up. What has he done with those opportunities? Has he not thrown all those yards? Has he not thrown all those touchdowns? You could get the opportunity, but it's what you do with that opportunity.
Yeah, and
he succeeded in those opportunities.
He has succeeded.
So he shouldn't be MVP because he took advantage of those opportunities.
Yeah, he's only succeeded in 5 of those 9 opportunities this year.
Are we really going to blame Mahomes for all those 4 losses?
No, but their defense is significantly better than the Bills. No,
but why are we putting that against Mahomes? Why are we putting that the Chiefs' defense being better than the Bills' defense is against Mahomes for whatever reason?
Because Josh has less to work with and is still performing at a level that is winning them football games and having to be Superman with less on the offense, with less on the defense. He is still having to do way less. Yes, has he played worse teams? Yes, he has.
Look, at least to me, it sounds like you're a little confused. I'm not saying Josh Allen is a bad quarterback.
I'm not saying you're saying that.
I still view Josh Allen as an elite
I'm not saying you're
quarterback.
Saying that.
I'm simply just saying, to me, in my opinion, Patrick Mahomes has played more consistently and has played better than Josh Allen. I think in their losses, Pat Mahomes has played better at quarterback than Josh Allen has in their losses.
How do you look against you guys?
In the first half, not that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your defense is terrible.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm just confused as to
I'm
how...
generally asking, who was your other loss against? It was the Falcons and who?
Patriots.
Patriots, okay.
The guy
I
that you're
generally
saying is
forgot.
also in the MVP contention.
He is, absolutely. Yeah.
So we're gonna act like the Patriots are a bad team all of a sudden.
never said they were a
I'm
bad
not.
team.
I'm not saying you're saying that. But we also lost the Falcons game. No excuses. They had
Josh
a
Allen
great.
played bad that game.
They had
His turnovers were awful.
He had a bad game,
At
yet
least-
still didn't
you
play
know
as
what?
bad as Patrick Mahomes played this week. Who has went up against a worse defense than Josh did against the
You know
Falcons.
what? At least strictly against the Commanders. Pat's interceptions, or at least definitely that second one, wasn't even on him. So he really should have even had.
That first one was pretty bad.
First one was bad. I agree. First one was bad. Who knew What? You know what? I don't even blame Pat Mahomes for that interception. I didn't think Marshawn Lattimore could turn his head. The one time in 2 years Marshawn Lattimore actually turns his head, it just so happens the ball is right there.
Oh, he was just being reckless with the ball. Then is what you're saying.
No, he did amazing film study and saw that Marshawn Lattimore does not turn his head to save his life.
But it seems like Marshawn did more study and saw that, hey,
I wouldn't say
when I
he still got
pretend,
cooked that game.
yet he caught a pick against Patrick Mahomes, who is your MVP right now.
He is.
All I'm
Because I
saying-
think he's played more consistent.
All right, final statement, because I don't want the whole video to be about the MVP. Final statement for me: Josh Allen has a 6-2 record compared to Patrick Mahomes' 5-4 record.
Mm-hmm.
Have the Chiefs played better teams? Yes. Have the Bills played worse teams? Yes. Does Patrick Mahomes statistically have the better stats? Yes, but the statistics
You're making a really good
aren't
argument for me.
backed up by the fact that Josh hasn't had to play at that level
So
yet.
is that
this
why
year.
Josh is? And then again, final statements. Is that why Josh is your MVP? Because he's playing good with less quarters.
No.
Is that why he? I just don't get why you keep bringing up he's played less quarters and Pat Mahomes has to throw the ball because he's in competitive games.
Yeah.
He's taking advantage of his opportunities. Why are we discrediting him for that?
I'm
Why
not.
Are we? But we are. You're saying he should not be MVP because he's had more opportunities and he's taken advantage of those opportunities.
All I'm saying is that when it comes to an MVP trophy, that has to be accounted for.
I disagree.
So
I disagree.
okay.
I think if you're taking advantage of whatever opportunities you're getting, no matter how much they are, and you're doing them at a high level, I don't see why that is a factor in anything.
My final thing I'm going to say:
Sure.
do the Chiefs at the beginning of the year offensively, without a Rashee Rice? I mean, that's really all they were missing at the beginning of the year, right?
I feel like they were missing a couple other people.
That's really it.
Xavier Worthy,
He missed a
two or three
game.
No, it was like 2 or 3.
I think he only missed a game, but
It was definitely not. A game.
regardless, is that offense better than the Bills' current offense?
When both offenses fully healthy, I'm taking the Patriots offense.
The Chiefs offense.
It's PM football. It's like, I'm so sorry. Yes, I am taking the Chiefs.
I'm saying
offense.
current or not
Both
current.
teams fully healthy.
Beginning of the year Chiefs offense. Are you still taking that offense over the Bills' current offense?
No, I'm not.
Even with Worthy on the field?
But Worthy wasn't on the
He
field.
was on
in
the field
begin-
for
No,
the
he
beginning
got
of the
hurt
year.
the first game of the season.
Mhm.
He wasn't there in the beginning of the year.
He was there for a couple plays.
So, he played 2 plays. So I'm counting him for the beginning of the year when he played 2 plays.
I would go as far to say Marquise Brown would be our best receiver.
And that's sad, and that would go really good for a totally different argument that we had earlier. That would go great in my argument, but that's not the argument we're having right now. I just think Patrick Mahomes has played more consistent and more better than any quarterback in the league right now as of today.
Yet he had his worst performance of his career last week.
Sure.
Let's move on.
Sure. If the Falcons game was this week and not the Chiefs, would that be your same argument? Would Josh Allen not be your MVP if the
Who would the
performance
Chiefs have
against the
played?
Falcons? Huh?
Wait, what?
If the Bills and Falcons game
Mm-hmm.
was this week instead of the Chiefs and Bills, and Josh Allen had the performance he had,
Did we already?
With Josh
so
Allen,
did the places just swap then?
Yep, the game's just swapped.
I would still have them.
Okay, so how is that different?
What?
How, like, I don't understand. He had a
Because
bad
Patrick
game.
Mahomes has also had bad games this year.
So has Josh Allen. I
Not
don't-
really.
Yes, he has. Yes, he's not as good as he was last year. Still elite. Don't get me wrong. Still an elite quarterback. I would take last year Josh Allen over this year Josh Allen.
I just want to know what games he played bad in, other than the Falcons game.
I'm sure we could look it up. That it's games where you're like, this. Did he even play well against the Saints? Considering that it was the Saints.
Yes, that's when he took over.
What did he take? What?
The
how did he
game
take
was
over?
close because the defense kept giving up points to the Saints. That game wasn't even necessarily really close. I mean, I'm sorry. I meant the opposite. That game was really close going into the fourth quarter because the Saints kept being able to sustain drives against our terrible defense.
All right.
And then at the end of the game, we finally get the ball back, and then we end up winning the game by 12 points still.
Right.
That game was a 1-point game going into the fourth quarter.
All right. To me, Pat Mahomes is still better than Josh Allen.
5-4.
It's fine. What's going to happen in the playoffs?
They gotta
What's
make
going to
it.
happen?
They
in the
gotta make the
What's
playoffs
gonna-
first.
If the Chiefs and the Bills play in the playoffs right now, who's winning?
The Bills.
You're wrong. And
Why?
You know you're wrong.
They already
You
beat
know
them.
why. You know why.
You want to talk about
You know
not have
why.
the Chiefs not having a fully healthy team? We don't have a fully healthy team right now.
Even with a fully healthy team, you guys.
Yet we beat them without the fully healthy team. It makes
That's
sense.
fine. That's fine. What's going to happen in the playoffs?
They got to make it first.
They will. Don't worry. They will.
They're out of the playoffs if the season ended today.
Oh, but does the season end today?
No.
No, it's only halfway done.
Yeah, and that's
so have
perfect
another half
because
of football.
we still have all of our players getting back from injury. So that's
Except
perfect.
Michael Hoyt and Ed Oliver.
Ed Oliver's going to be back for the playoffs. You said the season doesn't end today. He's going to be back for the playoffs.
Sure, have an injury prone.
And we
Ed
still beat them
Oliver.
without Ed
Well,
Oliver.
Sincerely, what's his injury? I don't know.
It was I think he tore his bicep.
Okay,
So
so
they're
at
just
least
gonna
it's not a
throw-
leg thing.
throw a
At least-
sleeve on him.
At least it's not a leg thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Throw a
We'll
little
see.
arm brace.
I would put all my money on the Chiefs. You yourself last week said it's hard to beat a team twice this season.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Chiefs 10 out of 10 times in the playoffs.
Okay.
On to our offensive player of the year. Who was your original pick?
It's not the worst pick in the world.
not,
I had
no.
Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't think he has lived up to the expectation as to what I thought he would be. He still
really
had
good.
a really, really good season.
really good.
There are just some guys this year that have played outstanding. And I have a name on my list. And I'm going to stick with this name, even though I will say I originally had Jonathan Taylor as my MVP. I'm just going to say that. But after thinking about it, they don't give the MVP to running backs, so I gave it to Josh. Not as a sympathy thing. I know you're going to run with that.
I wasn't even thinking about that until you said it. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It wasn't
was not
as
even-
that. I just think
Sounds
that.
a lot like last year.
What?
Sympathy.
Yeah, you voted him to be MVP as well.
Yeah.
If I had to say, it'd probably be Jonathan Taylor, but I'm going to stick with my answer that I have right now. My current offensive player of the year is Jackson Smith and Jigba. That guy has just completely become the number one receiver in the NFL. I don't think there's any questions about it. That guy is going to catch 10 passes a game, go for 100 yards, and there's nothing you can really do about it. He's just going to be open. He has completely taken the NFL by storm and has become the new household name when you think about a wide receiver one. Who's yours? And from last year, or from the beginning of the season?
So before the season started, I said Jamar Chase was going to be my offensive player of the year. Honestly, if Burrow never got hurt, I feel like this still could be very realistic, but that's an if. I don't deal with ifs. My answer is Jonathan Taylor, and I have a question for you. If Jonathan Taylor was good enough to be your MVP, why is he not good enough to be your offensive player of the year?
You want me to be completely honest with you?
Yes.
Mainly because I didn't want to have the same answer.
Fair. Okay, at least you're honest. I'll give you that.
I literally said before I said Jason,
You
it'd
did.
probably be Jonathan Taylor, but I'm going to stick with my guy.
Jonathan Taylor, again,
And before you say anything, I'm not going to disagree with a single word you say.
Jonathan Taylor, I said it when we were talking about MVPs. If it wasn't for MVP being mainly a quarterback award, I would make Jonathan Taylor my MVP. And who knows, if he just continues to skyrocket and the quarterbacks continue to just not separate themselves, it honestly might be Jonathan Taylor. as
And
MVP.
it coming off of a week with 0 touchdowns, we're still having this conversation
Yeah.
about him being in that conversation.
For sure. But for now, because I don't feel like the word would be given to a non-QB, at least for this year, I will give Offensive Player of the Year to Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you at all. My answer probably same thing, but I gotta give JSN love.
And I will agree with you. JSN to me is clearly the best receiver in the league.
Yeah, it just sucks Puka got hurt, but
It does. Even it was a cool like hits ahead with them.
And even when he was healthy, I think JSN was still like 100 yards ahead of him.
I mean, yeah. Like I just really loved, especially with them being in the same division. It was like a cool rivalry, and I'm sure it's not even like a rivalry, but like it was cool that two of the top receivers in the league were in the same division,
and they're on two really, really good teams.
Yeah, so
it's going to be exciting to see. They had a Rashid Shaheed at the deadline.
Yeah,
they're gonna have Cooper Kupp in the slot, and they're gonna have JSN as a chess piece to put basically anywhere on that offense. Yeah. And then you got Rashid Shaheed as a deep threat, which is kind of what they were missing almost.
It's like a relay race at that point. It's just speed on speed.
You could like Torrey Horton was kind of filling that role for them, and I don't want this just to become like a video about just talking about the Seahawks, but Torrey Horton was kind of the one filling the role for that. Now you got a true deep threat in Rashid Shaheed. That team. I'll be honest with you, that's a legit Super Bowl contender.
Adam Peters, take notes, please. Good God. Defensive player of the year, who do you have?
My original defensive player of the year. It was kind of a risky shot. I'm not saying it was the worst pick in the world. It hasn't really come to fruition this year. I had Jared Verse. I really thought he was going to, after that amazing rookie season, and it's really hard to predict a guy in his second season winning defensive player of the year. But I mean, we're talking about Drake May in that role kind of right now, but he hasn't been that guy so far this year. I think the obvious answer is Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett, when he is on the field, is just the most game-wrecking player in the league.
Yeah,
Myles Garrett, I think
that.
He has 10 sacks, I think, already on the year. I think he's tied for first with Brian Burns, if I'm not mistaken. Myles Garrett, as bad as the Browns are, and everybody knows that is the only guy that you can't let beat you, and he is still able to do it week after week. He's the most dominant player in the NFL, and I think that includes all the positions. Yeah. He's just the most dominant player. You can't do anything against him. He will get his, no matter what.
I agree with you. My original pick was Jalen Carter, and boy, did that start off very rough. He literally got suspended before snap was even played on the first game of the season, and he just, not that he's a shadow of himself, he just isn't progressing the way I and many people thought he would. Not to say he's bad, but I really thought he was going to take that next step this year, and he just hasn't. But my pick, like you said, to me is pretty easy. It's Myles Garrett. It's so unfortunate. He's on a awful, awful team.
And we kind of talked about this before. This is his fault.
It is. I was literally just about to say that. Like, I'm not saying the Browns would have traded you, but
they would have been more.
Just so dumb to just. If money is what you wanted, just say that. You didn't have to throw this whole charade of I want to compete for a ring just to fold the minute the bag is waved in front of your face. Mm-hmm. Like, but, get yours. I'm not going to rip a man for getting money, whatever. I'm just saying I just feel like you shouldn't complain as much as you do.
Yeah, don't be crying.
Because you chose to re-sign that contract.
Don't cry that you're losing games.
Yeah, no one forced you to sign that contract. You knew good and well what you were coming into. Like, I know good and well you didn't think you guys would actually be good this year.
Yeah.
But, all right.
He thought Joe Flacco was taking him to the promised land.
Either way, yes, we both have Myles Garrett as Defensive Player of the Year. Who is your Offensive Rookie of the Year?
My Offensive Rookie of the Year, I think this was pretty much everybody's Offensive Rookie there before the season started. It was Ashton Jeanty. He kind of got off to a little bit of a slow start. Has picked things up since.
He has a little, yeah.
I'm going to be changing my pick to, I think this guy might be the most consensus outside of Myles Garrett for maybe Jonathan Taylor if you want to include him in Offensive Player of the Year. Yeah. As the most consensus pick out of anybody right now, the Offensive Rookie of the Year is Emeka Egbuka. He is just a stud.
So good.
And I'm not saying that this was fortunate for him, unfortunate for the team. They've dealt with so many injuries at the receiver position that he has just had to become the guy. And I'm not saying he wouldn't have been able to do that eventually, but if those guys like Mike Evans were never injured, Chris Godwin came back and was able to stay healthy, Jalen McMillan not getting hurt and breaking his neck before in the preseason, I don't know if he would have ever gotten the same opportunities that he's been getting since the start of the season. But he has. So there's nothing else to really say other than he has done exactly what he needed to do with the opportunity he's been given, and then some. He has just been an elite receiver and is going to be a really elite receiver for a lot of years to come.
I agree with everything you're saying. I'm going to start with my original pick. My original pick was Cam Ward. Offensive Rookie of the Year, to me, is mainly given to like quarterbacks. That's really my only logic with it,
especially because he was really the only guy this year that we knew was going to be starting.
Exactly. That honestly, and I even said it when we made this video, that was really my logic to it. It's mainly given to QBs. He was at the time looked like the only QB that was certainly gonna play majority of the games, so that's why I went with. But I will change my answer to Emeka Egbuka for literally everything you said. Going into the draft, through the draft process, he was my number 2 receiver. I had very high expectations for him, and he has completely shattered it. I mean, he is a absolute baller. Like, he can ball out. He's a true number 1 receiver. I agree. Kind of fortunate for him personally that he got those opportunities with injuries and stuff, but he took advantage of those opportunities.
And to also, to that point, he has also dealt with injuries.
Yeah.
And he's been able to play through those injuries and still continue to be an elite receiver as a rookie.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people realize like how impressive this dude is as a rookie.
Yeah. No, he's a baller. I do want to give a quick shout out to Tyler Warren. I feel like I wouldn't be mad if Tyler Warren was someone's offensive rookie of the year. He has been balling as well, but to me, it has to be Emeka Egbuka.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, defensive rookie of the year. Who do you got?
My defensive rookie of the year is kind of unfortunate, especially with the news that just came out.
Yeah.
Before the season started, it was Micah Williams. And even if he wasn't injured and didn't tear his ACL this past weekend, I still don't think he probably wins it. I don't think he was having any game-changing types of years or anything. No. And to be honest with you, this has been the toughest pick other than maybe MVP to make.
I will agree. At least personally, MVP and defensive rookie of the year were the hardest for me to choose.
With that being said, I'm going to be taking a guy that I wish the Bills took. It was Nick Ebenwari.
Same with Washington.
Nick Ebenwari, I was a huge fan of him coming out of college. The only thing that was really concerning was would he be able to cover at this level? And has he proved everybody wrong that he is able to cover? He has been an outstanding addition to that secondary. He's a big enough player to be able to come down into the box, and he's just really just blown the expectations out, being a great coverage guy. Everybody knew that he had the athleticism, the explosiveness, the ability to catch interceptions. That was all over the tape in South Carolina, and he has been able to transition that into the NFL and really become a star safety in this league.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Ebenwari pick. He has been absolutely solid. My original pick was Jalen Walker. That Atlanta defense is good. I feel like he's had a solid year. He's not exactly taking those steps or flashing like I thought he would, but I think he's a solid player. But my answer is Will Johnson. Again, this was very hard for me to decide. I feel like there's several players you could have gone with. I think Will Johnson is making a lot of teams regret
absolutely
just passing up on him and worrying about that injury, because it seems like that was a non-factor at all. He's making picks, PBUs, shutting down receivers. As a rookie, as a second-round rookie that everyone was worried about injuries with, he has completely proven the doubters wrong. This dude is an absolute baller. To me, he is my defensive rookie of the year.
All I know is moving forward in the draft process, if somebody's coming out and they're like, oh, well, he kind of has this issue with this, all the guys that have had the issues so far have been the ones that have been the best players so far.
Jahad Campbell.
Jahad Campbell.
Some with his shoulder. He, honestly, you could have him as defensive rookie
Neither
of the year.
of those guys have missed a snap this year.
Yeah. And both have balled out.
But look at some of these guys that have had no injury issues, and now they're out for the season.
Yeah.
It's just, I think those get so blown over proportion when it comes to the draft process, and it's just like, and I know I'm saying this on November 5th, 2025, and in about 3 months when this draft process happens, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, I really like this dude, but he kind of has these injury issues. I'm going to be doing the same thing. Everybody does.
Look, and there's certainly instances where you have to count injury. Like the one that comes to the top of my head, Caleb Farley. Remember, he was projected to be like a top 5, top 10 pick, but he had a spine pain.
Back issues different.
I was exactly about to say that. There's some things where it's like, yes, like your spine, because it wasn't even like a smaller thing. Like, no, like his spine was tweaked out.
Yeah.
That stuff, yes, I feel like you should take into account. But with whatever Will Johnson or Jahad Campbell was dealing with, obviously, like there's teams that try to outsmart themselves. They look too deep into it, and these guys are proving everyone wrong right now.
It's sometimes, I mean, we kind of talked about, I can't even remember what we were talking about, but it's trust your eyes. Whatever you see first, that's more than likely what's the truth.
Yes, absolutely.
The more you sit there and think about it and analyze it and have to change your mind 17 times, that's when you get wrong and you're not making the right decision.
I agree with you.
Pick the best players. That guy was the best player.
He really was.
He was the best corner. We both had him as the best corner in the draft.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It hurts my brain at times.
Yeah.
Comeback player of the year. Who do you have?
So originally I had Dak Prescott, and I don't even hate that pick to this point. I just don't think with the record that they've had that you can really give it to him. I think there's a very better answer right now, and that is Daniel Jones. And I don't even know how to quantify this as comeback player of the year. But when you look
you
up,
just have to give Daniel Jones an award somehow.
He came back from pretty much
just dead.
Yeah, his career was dead. So I mean, that's about as much as a comeback as you can make. And you have the number 1 seed in the AFC right now with the Colts, who no one before the season started would have bet $1 on to win.
I would have bet $100 that their coach is the first one fired and Daniel Jones plays because Anthony Richardson sucks and then Daniel Jones ends up sucking. I would bet $100 it would just been a complete dumpster fire, and it's the exact opposite.
Yeah, no, and to that point, Daniel Jones has been just I won't go as far as saying elite. He's been really close to it,
I was about to say, man, I mean...
He just fits really well with that system, understands his assignments, is playing really, really good football, throwing a great ball, using his athleticism, which I'm not saying the Giants didn't really use, but their offensive line couldn't hold up for more than 2 seconds. And look what happens when he has more than 2 seconds to throw the ball. He can make the right decisions.
Absolutely.
And it's just been a really good year for him and the Colts. I think... I don't know if he's even qualified to be comeback player of the year, but he is the comeback player of the year.
Yeah. My original pick was Aiden Hutchinson. I think Dak could earn this award. I think if he qualifies for it, Daniel Jones can earn this award. But I think I'm going to stick with Aiden Hutchinson. There was so much concern and worry about will he be the same player coming back from that gruesome injury. And yes, he is that same player before the injury. He got the bag this season. He has been balling this season. I think he's very close to making that next step of, like, he's widely known as an elite edge rusher, being up there with Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, Max Crosby, TJ Watt. I think he's so close to being shoulders with all those guys. He is my comeback player of the year.
I don't hate that at all.
Yeah, I'm really happy that he was my pick originally.
Yeah, it was a good pick originally. Like Dak for me, it's just like
honestly, I think Dak could earn this for sure.
If the Cowboys just had a better record, I think I would have stuck with that pick. But Daniel Jones, he's got to win something.
Even if he doesn't qualify for comeback player of the year, you have to make a new award for Daniel Jones.
The Daniel Jones award.
I mean, you have to. Like he
literally, his career was over. Like they were literally, the Colts signed him on a whim just because Anthony Richardson wasn't able to play this year. And he wasn't able to play. They were like, "Hey, you're taking over, buddy."
You've known me for a while, and if you've been watching our show, you know how I feel about Daniel Jones. For the longest, absolute Daniel Jones hater, non-believer. Like, I thought this dude did not have much talent. Within weeks, completely changed my mind on him. He is just so different than the player he was.
100%.
Yeah. Our final award, Coach of the Year. Who do you have?
My original pick, and I'm very proud of this pick, was Mike Vrabel. I've been on the Patriots from the beginning of the season. I knew, I'm not saying like, I told you 100%. I knew this was going to happen. I just had a pretty good feeling with the mixture of talent that was coming in, and I was a big Drake May fan. I thought that they had a chance to compete this year for playoffs. Mainly wild card. They're winning the division right now. And before I move on any farther, I'm sticking with that pick. Mike Vrabel, I don't think there's any question in my mind, outside of maybe one guy, and I kind of have a good feeling you're probably going to pick the other guy. Vrabel has done way more than he should have. He's way over, what's the word I'm trying to think of? He's overperformed.
Yes.
He's overperformed as a coach. He himself has brought the Titans in the previous years to the playoffs with Ryan Tannehill. You got a guy like Drake May now, and then you have that defense. He's just a great coach and is able to get the best out of his team. And that's exactly what he's done this year. The Patriots are first in their division, looking like they're for sure locked to be in the playoffs this year. I would be very shocked if he doesn't win it. Unless it's the guy that you're about to pick.
Two things. One, I don't hate the Mike Vrabel pick. And for everything you said throughout the offseason, we have been given the Patriots praises for how they have rebuilt that team and the culture they have set. So I don't hate the Mike Vrabel pick at all. Number two, I don't want to be that guy. I really don't. But this reminds me, and I'm not saying this is going to be them next year. I'm not saying that at all. I'm simply saying the Patriots this year remind me a lot of Washington last year, where there's not really too many expectations. It's mainly a just set the tone of where you want your franchise to go kind of year, and then just blow everything out of the water. Not saying they are Washington, not saying they're going to be Washington of next year, whatever. I'm simply saying they have, what you said, exceeded expectations, and they look like a very, very strong team right now. So with my pick, my original pick was Dan Campbell. A lot of that had to do with like his coordinators leaving and me thinking they could keep the same success and whatnot. I don't hate Dan Campbell. I wouldn't necessarily put him as coach of the year. No. But I still think he's a really great coach. My coach of the year is Shane Steichen for everything we were saying for comeback player of the year. The way that team just looks so different than how they looked previously. Yes, Jonathan Taylor should get credit. Yes, Daniel Jones should get a lot of credit. Yes, the GM should get a lot of credit. But Shane Steichen deserves so much credit for that turnaround. He has both sides of the ball absolutely balling. If you have told any Colts fan or any NFL fan that this is what the Colts would be halfway through the season, everyone would have called you crazy.
Yeah.
But this is reality. The Colts look like this, and they're currently the one seed in the AFC, right?
Yep.
That's a huge part to Shane Steichen. So to me, he is my coach of the year.
I don't hate that at all. I wouldn't even say that I disagree. Like, the only reason I'm keeping mine the same is because that's who I picked at the beginning of the year.
And honestly, that's Aiden Hutchinson to me.
Like, I just want to be right. And I have a chance to be right, so why would I change my pick?
For sure, yeah.
But I agree. I think Steichen has done an incredible job. It's like we talked about. Daniel Jones was dead. He was a dead man. And he has just completely revitalized his career with Steichen and just they've had a great offensive plan all year, great defense. They just trade for Sauce. It looks like it's only getting brighter.
Crazy trade.
Just gotta hope that trading away 2 first-round picks doesn't stunt your future, because now you kind of are banking on the guys you got.
I just think it's so funny on how dumb I am, because I asked a question, I think, before the season started. I asked you who would be the first coach fired, and I said Shane Steichen. If any of you know how to edit videos, make a clip of me saying Shane Steichen would be the first coach fired, and then do several weeks later, here I am praising him, saying he needs to be coach of the year. Like, Shane Steichen, Daniel Jones completely has just flipped my mind around.
Yeah.
This was fun.
This was.
I enjoyed this a lot. This has to be, however long we do this, this has to be a yearly thing because I had a lot of fun doing this last year. Had fun doing this year. Yeah, this was cool.
Yeah.
We brought up the trades of the Colts and Jets a little bit. Dallas even got involved. I would like to know your thoughts on the Sauce Gardner trade. Even if you want to talk about the Quinn and Williams trades, I feel like this would be a good time to talk about it since we've been talking a lot about the Colts and teams changing and whatnot.
From the Jets' perspective, I'm a huge fan of what they did. Do you lose a great elite player in Sauce Gardner and in Quinn and Williams? Yes. Yet they've been on your team the past 2 years, and you haven't really been able to do anything with them on that roster. And I know you guys are going to say, like, well, why would you get rid of a player like that who is going to be able to help you get to that next level? Because they didn't have the capital to be able to just be, like, one pick away.
Oh, so you're not competing for anything.
They're not one pick away. They're about 6 picks away.
You're several years away from really competing for something.
And the problem is with the teams like the Jets, they go into the draft with 1 draft pick. So you have 1 pick and we're talking first round picks at this point.
Yes.
You have that 1 pick to really just make a statement and change your entire team around. They haven't been able to be doing that in the past couple of years. When you go and trade for 2 first round picks and then you go get you get a second and a first for Quinnen, that puts you at 2 this year, 2 seconds this year, 3 firsts next year. Like,
that's so insane.
You and Jets fans right now, just listen to me before you do anything. You're not going to hit on all of them.
No.
But that's the reason you make this move, is it gives you the other opportunities to hit on more people. When you limit yourself and give yourself 1 pick as a terrible team, you're solely basing it off of, I need this dude to hit or we're screwed. Now you have the multiple opportunities to hit on people. And if you get super lucky and you hit on 4 of those 5 picks, you guys are in the contention.
Balling.
You're in playoff contention right away. And that's the hope. It's just you got to make sure you got the right guy in place to make that pick. And is it the guy that's making the trades right now? I would hope at least they'd give him the opportunity to see it through. It might not be the head coach. The head coach might be gone.
I literally agree with 100% of everything you were saying. You praise the GM. I love that move for the Jets. I love the move for the Colts as well, but I especially love it for the Jets even more. You have given yourself an opportunity to change this franchise that has been miserable for years. You weren't competing for anything.
No.
Trade the assets you have. I don't know why that was weird. I'm all good. Trade the assets you have. Get not just great capital, extremely great capital
and
for what you
they had been talking about it all trade deadline. Like when it was happening, that trade went down. They were not going to move Sauce. Like that was never in the equation until that trade came across them. And I'm not saying A.D. Mitchell is any like great player or
but if that gets the job done.
But I'm just saying, like, you just got a 2nd round pick from 2 years ago in a throw-in, basically, on top of 2 first rounders at a position that you just don't really have great players at. You're playing Allen Lazard at this point. Get that man off the team and let A.D. Mitchell play some snaps to see what you got in a guy like that. Because if he can just play semi-good, that could fill in your number 3 receiver role without having to make a single pick.
Yeah.
So, like, that's just great work for being able to get a young player in a situation with the Colts that he just doesn't really get many opportunities to. And when he did, he kind of squandered them because he fumbled the ball at the back of the end zone against the Rams.
Yeah.
And if they didn't do that, they'd be 8-1 right now, and they'd have a really big lead over everybody else. But I hope A.D. Mitchell does good. I was a fan of him coming out. Yeah. He was another guy that he said he had character issues. So hopefully it seems like he's figured it out. It's just going to be really nice. The Jets, I think, made some really good moves. Yes. And even in the Quinn and Williams trade, I'm not saying Mozzie Smith is any good either, but another...
Yeah, it's one of those, if that's what gets the deal done, sure.
Yeah. Like, it's like, all right. But, like, they're smart for doing that. Yeah. To be like, all right, we want those picks. And they're like, okay, well, let's do it. And it's like, throw in Mozzie Smith, too. It's like, fine. But like for the Jets' sake,
You don't need Mozzie Smith to be a star.
no, you need him to fill in a role that you're losing in Quinnen.
Yeah.
And if he can play okay, then you know you got a depth piece or develop him.
And it goes back to what we were saying in the beginning. You're not competing for anything. It doesn't matter if 80 Mitchell hits or Mozzie Smith hits. You got so much draft capital out of it. That's really what set this apart.
And especially if those guys play okay,
Yeah.
then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, we really got some really good pieces now. But
Yeah, no.
I'm a fan of what they did. And then to the Colts degree, I just hope that Colts fans know what they're getting in Sauce. He's a great player. I don't think he is in that elite tier. And I'm crazy. I'm probably a little biased. But every time we've played Sauce, I don't think there's been a single game that he's gone out there and shut down a receiver. That's just my own that's what's happened when the Bills have played them. I don't know how many Jets games I could tell you I've watched in the past couple of years.
I don't know how many Jets games a lot of people have watched.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just been unwatchable for many years. And that's why I think Jets fans should feel excited about this.
Yeah.
Because is this season over for you? Yes. But the next couple seasons, the next 3 or 4 seasons could be very exciting. Even if you're not good for the next 2 years, you're at least going to have
more than likely probably going to
You're at least going to have the assets to be like, okay, we're at least building towards something. Like you said, are you going to hit on all of them? No. Try to hit on half or majority of them. You're actually majority. You have to hit on majority of them.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine. You're going to be in a really good spot.
Yep.
Yeah. So anything else you would like to say before we close this?
I'm really mad we didn't make a move.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even my team's not even worth my breath anymore. So, if you would like to talk about,
No, that's I'm good with that. I'm just mad we didn't make a move.
same with you with my team. Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know in the comments which of these mid-season awards you agree with, what you disagree with. Let us
Who are
know
your winners?
your what am I thinking? Opinions of the trades that happened at the trade deadline as well. Follow us on TikTok and Twitter at PM Football Podcast. Like, subscribe, share the video, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.